they've got control. I wonder why they lie, they think we don't know. What is going on, guys? It's Adam aka Marf. Today's show is us coming back, so we have a lot of news to cover. Stick around, we'll be right back right after this. What is going on, guys? It's Adam aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. If you've never been here before, this is a live show, and it is our first time back in 2 weeks, so a lot could go wrong right now. It is our first show in a new studio. If you are not all up on it, we moved studios completely. People were like, it doesn't take 2 weeks to move. It does take 2 weeks to remodel. So again, thank you guys for your patience. I had to change a room that's not meant for a studio into a studio. So I appreciate all of you guys sticking with me. All the Foogle fam, as you guys know, we're going to be having our fourth child. And our third child is only 10 months old. So it was kind of a surprise. We found out about 4 months ago, and we wanted to wait until the first trimester to let pretty much everybody know. A few of my mods knew and a few of my family members, but it wasn't openly public. Either way, and that's for good reason. You know, I don't know. Every time, you know, I've seen friends and stuff tell right away. It's like half the time I've heard bad things, they end up losing it or something like that. It's always good to wait to tell about that kind of thing. So we're going to be going over this. I want to go over just a quick important notice. Nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone who helps with the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that being said, we have a ton of stuff to talk about today. Obviously, over the last 2 weeks, a lot has changed. The world has changed. We've had tons and tons of huge stories hit, and of course, I was not there to cover them. We're not going to go over absolutely everything because obviously it's moved on, but I am going to hit the stuff that I am continually hearing about, and then our military sources and our different sources are talking about a lot of different stuff. I wonder, I don't know, first off, let's bring Dex in. Dex is my co-host. He will also be screening calls. He will also be updating the website, which, again, if you guys want to follow along, all of the articles that we show you here today are going to be backed up and are going to be on our website. And our website is now maximized. In fact, when we were off, there were so many people going to it, we had to kind of do how fast it goes. And well, Dex, you can explain that. What is new on our website? And Dex, can you just explain how they can follow along on here?
Yeah, sure. Hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. So yeah, the website is still the same website we've had, but it's a lot faster now. We had to do a lot of optimizations to get things beefed up there. But yeah, you just click on the thumbnail of the show, like today's show is that Earth thumbnail. If you click on that, you can see all of the articles, and then all of the caller information will show up here in real time as I update it.
Which, again, you guys can call at 224-400-MARF. When you get to our phone tree, you'll want to press option 4. That will get through to the live show. That's assuming that we are actually live. Again, it is 9:20 p.m., 7/14/2020, and we have a ton to go over. So, again, all of the articles are there for your convenience. There's a couple that we're not going to hit on here if we want to keep our YouTube and DLive channel. But those, when we get to them, I'm going to let you guys know to go over there and to read that entire thing. Some people think that we are on the brink of a civil conflict with ourselves. Obviously, the country has been divided for at least 3 years, And it's getting even worse. In fact, it's not just about if you're left or right. It's all sorts of stuff. So we won't get too much into that until later. And I'm going to go over just some of the stuff that we've been kind of told over our break. I would say break, but again, I've been remodeling and doing just the gruntiest grunt work. So without further ado, I am going to hop over to chat here in a second after this first article. I wanted to bring this in. Dex brought this to my attention. The state reps in Michigan have been getting on this guy's case because he's been using the official, the governor's office has actually been using the official EAS system for basic, hey, wear your mask and this kind of stuff. Now, Dex, you ended up seeing this and you're like, so basically they're using an EAS system that is supposed to be used for strictly emergencies. And now they're just kind of like, hey, remember, high five in public or whatever. And then is there kind of a pushback on this? So other people are saying you shouldn't be using that for this?
Yeah, certainly. So other Michigan state reps and other civilian citizens are complaining that, hey, if you do this, if you don't put out emergency related information like real events, you're going to degrade the usefulness of the EAS system. If people just start to expect to see wear your mask as an EAS alert, then when there's a real alert that is a real emergency, then it won't
pay attention. It's kind of like in Hawaii, if they get a missile alert, are they going to think twice next time they get one? Since last time it was a complete accident, and even if it is a real one, they're probably going to think twice about it and think it's a mistake. With this, obviously some people support this, but again, is this an actual emergency, hey, a reminder? Or should this be a PSA on their local TV stations? Should it be on their local radio? Hey guys, please wear a mask. That kind of thing. But as far as this goes, when there are so many alerts about different things, it loses its, I guess, its emergency-ness. What if you see this twice a week or something, you're going to completely ignore it. You're just going to delete it or swipe it. Again, most phones, to get rid of something, you just swipe now on your actual messages. So a lot of these come in, say that they are, what do they call them? The Amber Alerts. Obviously, a lot of people look at the Amber Alerts. That's a true emergency. They look at, what's the license plate, the car, blah, 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 and then they swipe and get rid of it. These ones, if they come through and they start kind of telling people what to do with it, just reminders or hey, or make sure to water your lawn this summer, then it kind of loses its touch. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat, which I'm actually going to go head over and see where you guys are at. Jen Lay Awake says, I was having DTs without you. God bless. Well, thank you guys for sticking around. I know that some people were getting angry, and I apologize. There's nothing I could really do. Not to mention, we could have probably been on 2 days ago if it wasn't for technical difficulties. For the people that say it doesn't take 2 weeks to do this, it is honestly, they have no idea how much stuff is behind this. I'll do it behind the scenes and show you guys. Now you can kind of see a mirror of what all of the cords. I have at least 4 USB hubs, 15 different devices that all have to be intertwined perfect. Otherwise, they don't work. If the Stream Deck isn't plugged into the right hub with power delivery to this thing and to that thing, it just all goes haywire. So again, this was the biggest pain in the butt I have had since I set up my first studio. See, the thing with the second studio is that when I moved over there, I basically just copied it exactly, and I just wrote down exactly where things were, and I ported it over. With this, I had to completely redo the layout. It just sucked. So anyways, hopefully we can be here for a while. At least until we find out about our 5th child. No, I'm just kidding. Probably going to see the doctor after this. 4 kids is probably enough. But anyways, Tuck Pup took a break for a month. Happy to see you back. Long stay. Rough road for me. Missed y'all and stoked. Well, Tuck Pup, I'm glad you're doing okay. And then YouTube admin says, what's up, Adam? I was starting to worry. Haha. That's all right. Again, some people were legitimately angry. And I'm like, how are you? I don't know how you're going to be like seriously angry when it's like, if you're a fan of the show, then why wouldn't you be happy that it's going to be back at some point? You're big time at Adam, Mrs. Marf. Congrats. Well, thank you, Luna Soul. I appreciate that. Cindy Moore says, I got my Marfoogle News sweater. I love it. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the support. Seven Ruby Rose, Enchanted Bayou, Eve 200 says it's a boy. Well, it has been sitting low. It's kind of we've been coming up with a lot of names for boys because we're just assuming we're going for boy, and that's all we're doing. 3 girls. Come on, don't give me a whammy. Not like a girl would be a whammy, but still, if you've been trying for a boy for 4 times, it would be nice if this time was the time. Bogstow, congratulations. Thank you. Craigs. Is that how you say congratulate? Is that the abbreviation? I just watched some old Mitch Hedberg. He is so funny. He goes, he says, I asked my friend how to abbreviate. He's like, I asked my friend how to abbreviate chimney. And he goes, you just start spelling it and stop. So I thought that was pretty funny. Hopkinson, thank you. Unicorn Forest, I'm in the MPLS now, showed up during riots. Crazy life. Military police, I'm guessing. Oh, Minneapolis now. Showed up during the riots. Crazy life. EAS used for storms, not for September event 18 years ago. Huh. EAS used for storms, not for September event 18 years ago. I would have to, and that was Kahaja Fly Girl. I guess I'm trying to figure out what that means. If they didn't put it out on the 11th or what. Tuck Pup Hedberg, Smokey the Frog. Nobody likes a bear. Oh my gosh, that guy was so hilarious. It's too bad that he passed away. He was the king of one-liners. What was the other one? He goes, there's never a broken escalator. It just turns into stairs. Anyways. Gnostic 23 Skidoo, thank you guys for all coming back after this huge, it was actually 12 days, but it feels like a lot longer than that. Whitetail, Tedessa, Damama, Daniel Mead, 777 Lightkeeper, James Shaw, Snafu Snaps, what is going on? Putzi Woo, Tuck Pup, Hero Jenna Bomb. I think I said that wrong. Oh my gosh, we are back. Chance Paladin, what's going on? Tedessa, CJ Blaze, Tina, Denise Lopez, Hopkinson, I love Beagles, Guitarded. That is probably the worst and the best at the same time. Jonathan Esparzo, what is going on? Bob Saget is in the house. If that's the real Bob Saget, will the real Bob Saget please stand up? Mr. Virtue, Whitetail 7, what is going on? And then Tina, thank you for super chatting. I appreciate that. If you do a $5 super chat like that, you can always write a message, and then I can actually see it, and it stays there permanently, so we can put it on the ticker on the next show. Trinity, hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here. You know you don't have to do that, but thank you. Congratulations to you and Mrs. Marf. Don't worry, I won't call in, even though I've called in only 3 times. Much love to everyone. You can call in, Trinity. It's fine. In fact, usually you have enough content to actually do a show, which we should do very soon. Casey Keller, thank you for following. Tony O'Connell, thank you for following as well. Diane S., thank you for just hitting the subscribe button. Remember, if you do subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out, and I appreciate you, and welcome to the fam. Carol Waddell, thank you for pledging on Patreon for $1. Patricia D. Killen, thank you for pledging on Patreon for $10. I appreciate you. And Tommy Wells and Paul Lango, thank you guys for pledging for $1. Okay, now we're going to get into the news, and we're not going to stop for a second. So it says red paint dumped on BL mural by T-Man Tower. It says video has emerged of a counter-protester splattering red paint over the BL Matter mural outside T-Man Tower in New York City. It says witness Oscar Vela tweeted a clip which shows a man dressed in all black. So I'm not going to go into this. You guys have probably seen this. If you have not, what happened is it was painted in white, correct? Or was it black lettering, Dex? Do you know? I think
no, it's yellow. It's the standard yellow they've been doing everywhere.
Okay, well here they did white, and then they actually did like pictures over it. So it was the standard yellow, and then they were painting on top of it. And some people are arguing back and forth whether apparently the person actually. So they ruined it, right? They actually ruined it by throwing the red paint everywhere. It wasn't like that lady who
they repainted over it like the same day. That's how quick they were to make sure it looked correct.
Okay, so what is the yellow thing like? Why does it have to be yellow? Because remember that one lady got in trouble for painting it black, I think. Yeah. She painted it black just to return the street to the normal color and to get rid of the graffiti, as she referred to it, I think, at the time. But this the yellow, I believe, is the actual marketing colors of the organization. You go to their website, that's their colors. Huh. Just I always try to look if there's any significance to the color. Well, I guess with that's pretty much
trying to stay on brand, I guess.
Okay, so again, somebody else got in trouble or even arrested or fined or something like that for repainting over it black, which some even said on the scene that it looked better in the black than the yellow. And that person, I don't think, was trying to like degrade it, but they were saying, don't deface it. But again, both things were illegal at the time before they approved it. In some cities, they've approved it, and then in some cities, they haven't. So they're not actually approved by the city saying, hey, this is an approved project. You guys can put it. You can do it 60 meters long. However you want to do it, you can do it. Some places have not approved it. And in those places, people are even getting in trouble for going over it, even though in the first place it was technically illegal, which, nobody really, at this point, that's not going to get in trouble, right? But then again, somebody repaints over it, which is the same crime, essentially, and then they get in trouble for basically changing it. And we're talking about not like going over it and just covering it, actually painting over it and making it say the same thing, but in a different color. I thought that was, this whole world is just crazy.
In New York, the mayor is going to do 5 different sections of the city the same way. And the folks on Fifth Avenue, which is where this one is in front of T-Man Tower, when I say the folks, I mean the businesses are actually suing the mayor because there's a loophole or some sort of thing that he did it outside of getting approval amongst all the businesses or something like that. So there's a potential lawsuit.
Well, with anything, if you have a strip of businesses and you want to add, say, a mural on one of the main walls, all those people that have their businesses there, usually you have to run it by some sort of committee or some sort of board. With what has been going on, a lot of things have been changed to neighborhoods. You're talking about entire neighborhoods changing. Without even talking to the residents, anything. So here, there's going to be permanent closures of streets to anybody except for the people that live there, delivery, Uber, transportation, things like that. But again, they're actually permanently closing streets to be walking streets or to be biking streets or to be social distancing streets. I mean, like literally, there's a lot of weird things going on all around the country. Here, though, they're actually closing over 20 miles of streets, and these are residential neighborhoods. In fact, my aunt lives in one of the neighborhoods they're doing this to, and they didn't get asked. I mean, this isn't something that was even voted on. It's just like, we're doing this. So, and it's not something that they're going to undo. It's going to be a permanent change to the cities, and they say it's not. It was done under the guise that it was done for the event, right? The event that's happened and has us all, locked down and things like this. But then again, it's not going away when it's done. So they say it is a permanent change and it is going to stay like that. I do want to get into some other things. So obviously this has been all over the place. I'm almost kind of sick of just everything going on right now. It really is hard to be the news when you can't stand what is going on either note. Like any which way you look, you are seeing just horrible things going on. It says Portland's unrest continues for 6 straight weeks with no apparent end in sight. So again, this is continued and continued and continued. Now people in Portland, and I've actually talked to several Foogles in Portland, and they say it is just insane. One of them lives in the downtown Portland area, and they're 3 stories up. They have had their window broken, replaced, and then broken again. So they're just like, they're done. At this point, he has actually seen neighbors throw hard objects down on people because they're so pissed off about the continual noise. You know, but then again, there's other people that are completely supporting it. There's even apartments, they say, that are inviting people in and then having them as kind of like bases and crash pads for some of the people. Portland has kind of been hand in hand with California and Seattle during all of the riots. They had live feeds of all 3 kind of going all at the same time. It says over 200 people face off with 24 police officers in Portland after the police department declared a riot and called for the crowd to disperse. The death, of course, of GF triggered a wave of protests and violent mayhem across the country as demonstrators demanded justice and a reckoning against racial injustice and police brutality. It says in Portland, Oregon's largest city, those demonstrations have raged for 6 weeks straight, and local businesses have reported $23 million in losses. So that is a huge amount of money not to get. And imagine you own a ma and pa shop there. Say it's a pizza place that has been closed and boarded up for, say, 6 weeks. You have already gone into not 1 but 2 rent cycles where you can't have normal customers come in because of the havoc outside, and you are not going to be covered by insurance for any kind of mayhem-related mayhem, I guess. It's like that commercial. They should make a commercial with that guy, I'm Mayhem, and have him in all black and you know, a bandana over his face. Like, I'm Mayhem. I could strike at any time. I'm going to take out your pizza place for no apparent reason. Either way, what would you do if your business was there? Would you start to fight back? Would you be pissed off about this? Would you sue the city? I think that's what is going to end up happening. I think a lot of these businesses are going to end up suing for not taking stricter control. Are you in Portland? Do you agree with this? Give us a call at 224-400-MARF. Ty Palomino, thank you, says, congrats, I was going through withdrawals, LOL. Well, I can understand some people, this is almost a daily show, and when you watch something like the news, you need the news. I apologize, I really do. Again, you know, every time I leave too, every time I don't do a show, I feel like Foogle family members all start fighting, everything starts going downhill. And I think that, you know, we just all need a reminder. We have to stay positive and stay together and push each other up and not pull each other down. Emerson Biggins says, stay safe and prepared. Absolutely, Emerson. I think that is a perfect statement. Tina says, how many weeks is Mrs. Marf? We've got a plan. So she's due in November. So it is now 4 months away. So she's about 5 months. I don't know how many weeks. Princess Carly, thank you, says, love your show and Foogle fam. Well, thank you, Princess, for your support. Susan Donahue, you are still here. That is so awesome. Susan, you have not missed a show. I can't even remember the last time you missed a show. So I don't even know how you get the alerts. It's absolutely amazing to have you here. Thank you so much. With many thanks and much love, my money's on, quote, hashtag Team Humanity. That's absolutely right. You know, guys, if we could really put this together and really try, we could make a force of ourselves. And that means we need to bring in all sorts of new people, and we need to get people flipped to where they're not thinking one way or the highway. So I hope that we can do that. We're trying to figure out ways to do that. We're also, Dex, I might pull you back in a second. We're trying to work on, say, a forum or something like this. Discord, of course, got taken, I believe, wrongly because of very few members that were part of other things It was mostly that they were taking out almost all the military groups. And that's why it's going to tie into the article later about the civil conflict. Okay, first of all, the stuff that is going on right now, it really does look like we could get into a civil conflict. And I will tell you, there is they could say fear-mongering this or that. I don't really care at this point. Look at how divided we are. We are one kind of event away from a battle for everything. I have retired family members that are literally some of the most responsible, low-key, just relaxed, serious, conservative people you've ever seen. Just not at all kind of into anything. They don't get involved in any of that kind of stuff. They don't care about drama. They don't care about anything. There are people that literally support this at the age of 70, saying, no, let's go to battle. Like, that's how people are thinking right now, because they're so done with the back and forth of it all. Now, when you think about how many groups they took down, and they said it was under one guise or another, it doesn't matter. Either way, to me, it looked like they took away a lot of the military groups. And I just think that's kind of odd. These are the men and women who fought for our country, and now they don't have a place to kind of congregate. I thought that was kind of strange. Either way, again, we're going to start a forum. We're going to try to give people a place to kind of communicate, and as long as we can. We need to get groups going with ham radios again. As long as we can have them. I know that we already have so many ham radio operators. A lot of them were able to connect before that went down, but we need a place where people can kind of register if they want to talk to other ham radio operators. If you think the same way, again, if something goes down, we're going to need ham radio operators. And again, that is something that, just any emergency, if Cascadia hits, if there is a conflict that breaks out between us and another country, if we are invaded or any of these things happen, people want to think that that's just so crazy and out far. I will tell you this, last year, did you think that we would have a global pandemic? No. And global pandemic and a, WW3, they're kind of close. I mean, literally, worldwide, every single country locked down, not traveling, not moving, every single store shut down across the world. It is basically the end of, the economy as we know it. Did you think that was going to happen last year? So I think that people are more awake to the fact that things can happen. We could be hit by an asteroid. We could have a tsunami hit from Cascadia subduction zone. That's actually, in my mind, more likely than anything, just because it's overdue. As far as that goes, what could that trigger? All those people without a home, without a job, everything is setting up for the worst circumstances ever. Are we going to be prepared, or are we going to be scared? People say, oh, but you spread fear, though. No, we don't. Every time I see that, I just see somebody who's not paying attention, not with it. Anybody that watches this show, if you are in any kind of country that has preparation for anything, they are way better off in any kind of natural disaster. Japan, for example, and I've used this many times, Japan is prepared for earthquakes. Not only are their buildings set to sway and do all these things, they've got all these alerts that go off, but they also teach their kids very early. Even in preschool, they teach them earthquake drills, and they drill it into them literally. They say, you are ready, don't be afraid when it happens. We go this way, we go that way. You start young and you do it all the way through life. People practice. It's what the military does. Do people call the military crazy for prepping for conflict? No, it's the military, so nobody says anything. But when we prepare, it's considered crazy. If we have the inkling that, the big brother is not going to protect us and we're not all good and everything is going to go bad, then we're weirdo or we're negative for thinking that way. It's not like that. Things could go very, very badly in a matter of seconds. And are we crazy for preparing for it? No. And again, when it does happen, everybody will be coming to us. Everybody will be looking at us. So many people tweeted and said publicly after I said, do you guys think we're spreading fear? People said when everything hit, when all the stores were empty, I was doing just fine because of you, Marv. When everybody, I wasn't worried about TP or anything like that. I was sitting pretty when everything ran out of the stores. There was weeks where the stores were empty. Nobody expected that either. And now people are thinking twice about calling people crazy that keep extra food around, because now it's happened to us. We've seen it, and it's going to happen again. So I'm going to get into this. I want to talk about the asteroid that went past us. Again, I have my own thoughts about that. I'll tell you in a second here. It says Hong Kong virologist claiming the CV tells, quote, Bill Hemmer, we don't have much time. So, again, this is something I'm going to have to go through very carefully. I'm going to ask you guys to read this article on our website. I'm going to ask you guys to do that. It says, quote, this is a huge pandemic we have seen in the world, Li Mengyan told host Bill Hemmer. It says, it's more than anything we've known in human history, so the timing is very, very important. If we can stop it early, we can save lives. It says, I have to hide because I know how they treat whistleblowers, and as a whistleblower, here I want to tell the truth of C-19 and the origin of CV virus, Yan told Fox News Digital. So so to get into this is to tease you into this because you need to go read this. There's so much here. It says an intelligence dossier compiled by the Five Eyes intelligence agencies was leaked to an Australian newspaper in May, stated that the Chinese authorities denied that the could spread between humans until January 20th, despite evidence of human-human transmission from early December. As late as January 14th, the World Organization had stated that there was, quote, no clear evidence for human-to-human transmission. It says, I know that how they treat whistleblowers, she said, they want to keep people silent if they want to reveal the truth, not only about but also for other things happening in China. For example, during the SARS, senior doctor Professor Jiang Yanyong had revealed evidence of, quote, of a cover-up in Beijing. And also in Shanghai, another physician's team reviewed the sequence of for the first time in the world and published it in February this year when their lab was shut down by the government. Says, I'm waiting to tell all the things I know, provide all the evidence to the U.S. government, Yan added. So, again, when you're talking about cover-ups, when you're talking about big stuff coming out, you're talking about this person disappearing off of the face of the planet or being under some sort of protection. I think that in time, and this is the point, I want you guys to go read this whole thing. In time, more and more is going to come out to the point where we are all going to be absolutely shocked that they are capable of this or capable of that. But some of us already know. So make sure to go read this. The link is going to be at marfooglenews.com. Again, this is too hot for TV. Now this, imminent threat. Tokyo's defense white paper frets at rising DPRK, Chinese military power. I've been talking about it for at least 2 years. A lot of people don't know which way to go on this. Most people, including you, probably think, oh, it's not that big of a deal, or they don't have anything. A lot of people have been underestimating China, and I know some people are going to push back on this fact, on my opinion, which is they have been literally spending as many billions as us, only times 10, and they've been doing it in a lot of secret ways, like making entire boats and entire Navy ships underneath the cover and under the guise in mountains. I mean, we're talking about they've made entire ways to get Navy ships from mountains all the way down to the water where it's completely covered, completely sealed in. They don't know that they're there. They confirmed this. It was pictures that came out about 6-7 months ago of basically these covers that were covering all these Navy ships. Now, even if you have the most advanced Navy ship in the world, if it's one ship versus 12, that badass super advanced ship might be able to get 7 of them, but then there's still going to be 5. It's kind of like a UFC fighter, the best fighter in the world, against, 10 guys. He might be able to get 5, 6, 7 of them, but it's that one guy in the back of him that smacks him in the side of the head that ends the fight. So there's a lot of stuff going on here with China. Some people say that they're connected or they're talking behind the scenes. I personally don't think so. I think that there are people that are connected to the highest up that are also connected with them. And I think that's pretty easy to see. They have people on the inside. My thought is that everybody, it's a popular opinion to be like, whatever, even if they have our technology, it's made in China, so it's not going to last long. Or, it's okay, it's made in China, so it's going to break soon. I think people are seriously underestimating what China is capable of. They have all of our scientists. They have all of our science now. They've stolen and hacked everything. Some stuff is going to come out pretty soon here. We've already had over the last 5 years, they took our jet designs, they took all this, and people say, well, they can have our blueprints and they're not able to produce it the same way. I don't think people are realizing we get a lot of our electronics components made in China and given to us. They're not dependent on us. Well, they're dependent on us for weird stuff. Like, surprisingly, they're dependent on us for a lot of their soy, which they are now trying to outsource to Russia. And they're trying to take away any kind of dependence on the USA. They're disconnecting all sorts of different things from the US. Meanwhile, the US is disconnecting from them, or at least the good guys in the US. Meanwhile, they have backdoors on all sorts of stuff that we didn't even realize. And the scale of it isn't going to be public for a while. If you're military and you know about this, please vouch for what I'm saying. You guys know. A new defense white paper published by the Japanese Ministry of National Defense takes aim at the expansionism and North weapons tests, claiming they pose major threats to Tokyo. It says annual white paper, which the government of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe approved on Tuesday, criticizes Beijing for, quote, relentlessly challenging Tokyo's control over the disputed Senkaku Islands, which China claims are its own and calls the Diaoyu Islands. So, again, Chinese President Xi Jinping has taken over for life. He is now the president for the rest of his life, and he is also taking over. He has been doing land grabs on all sides of his border, trying to get every little bit. Why? Who knows? As far as, nobody's settled. It's a misconception that we're all just done expanding and all of this kind of stuff. With Crimea and all of these things that have happened, there's going to be something that goes down, and then all of a sudden the whole place is going to be having a name change. That kind of thing is going to happen at some point. I don't get why people think that we're never going to have another world conflict unless humans completely evolve in one day. Say a spore comes down and all of a sudden we're an alien race with the intelligence of 50 people each. I don't think that's going to happen. I honestly think that we're one event away, and as we've seen, it could be even a small event could kick it off. What do you guys think about this? Dex, do you have anything about Tokyo and China? Obviously, we've talked about this a lot. We've talked about how they have a forward operating base now. They have the Spratly.
Yeah, I mean, we just continue to hear more and more tensions across the nations surrounding China, and whether it's Taiwan or Japan or what's going on down in the South China Sea. So I am certainly paying attention to this in this times to see what may or may not come from it, right?
Exactly. I mean, so we'll see with what this happens. Any one of our allies gets into it, we'll get into it too. But I think they've got a lot of stuff worked out. I think that there's a plan in mind. I think 2024 is a big year. I think that a lot of things are kind of coming to a head. Speaking of which, this is the one I want to send you guys on. It says, is America heading for a civil war? Of course it is. So some people believe that it is just, period, going to happen. It's like not without a shadow of doubt. And a few years ago, I probably wouldn't have believed it. I'll just leave it at that. You guys need to go to marfooglenews.com after the show. Go over and read this. It is I believe it's a 9 or 10 page read or something like that. It will take you about 15 minutes. It is a really good read. Go check it out. All right, and then again, guys, if you guys want to support us in any way and protect yourself, you guys should be looking at eDeck bags. These bags actually house your phone. So if you're going somewhere and you don't want to be contact traced, you can slip your phone in here and it's instant. These guys have basically worked for 12 years with FBI and DOJ using these as evidence bags. So basically what they do is they end up putting anything, say if they have an evidence laptop or a phone, they'll put it in one of these bags first so somebody can't remotely disintegrate the hard drive or remotely wipe it. These things will also protect any personal civilian's phone, tablet, anything that you don't want somebody else going into. Even for just regular safety reasons, these are great. But again, there's also the utility bag, the one that's on the screen. That one is the off-grid. This thing is basically the best that they make. They also have a utility bag, which actually has a window. You can still use your phone. Again, a part of this goes to support us. It would be much appreciated. And they can't say, oh, well, you were within 6 feet of somebody else, so we're going to take you in. Just saying. That, again, is your right to do. If you have a cell phone, you can put it in one of there. Anyways, again, that's marfooglenews.com/eDeck. And use the code Marfoogle for an extra 10% off. All right, and then speaking of which, a lot of people, again, I just talked to family members about, they didn't know. I was able to walk them through. If you have an Apple, for example, it's really easy. Go into settings, go into health, and then go into privacy. You'll see that your phone, without you knowing, has added in a CV option there. It is default off, but a lot of the people that I have been talking to and a lot of the family members that have gotten eDeck bags off of me, they have said that they don't believe that it's truly ever off. Again, the E911 chip, I believe it is, that is a chip that they can activate even if you don't have control over it. It's used for emergency purposes, right? So, just saying. Tina, how many weeks, again, is that? Again, November is the due date. Judith Donnelly, thank you so much. Thank you for your support. It's going to be a rough month. Some people wonder, they're like, it's not a good thing for us to miss 2 weeks. It's not good financially either. It's not good. So I appreciate that you guys understand us not being there. Machina Opus says 22 minutes late to the stream, listening to Marf the Chipmunk at 2 times the speed to catch up to the chat. That's actually awesome. If you listen half speed, I will sound special. I've done that a couple times on accident, and it actually keeps that setting. And I'm like, what is wrong with this video? Damon Draco, name your son Dexter, LOL. If you're O blood type, you're high resistant to CV. Hypoglycemia causes greater mortality in CV cases. Glad you're back. So I believe I am O blood type, but I heard about that, how they're saying that O or something is highly resistant to it. I don't know if that's, I haven't seen anything that goes against that yet, but I did see that. Marvin the Martian from Mars says, Team Marfoogle is, quote, #1. Much love and congrats to you and Mrs. Marv. Well, thank you, Marvin the Martian. Haven't seen you in a minute. And then Kelly Ford Harris. Thank you. You didn't write anything either. You can always write a message there if you feel like it. Emerson Biggins. Thank you once again for that. Patricia D. Killen. Thank you. Tommy Wells. Thank you again. Black Hat. I am setting up a community to fill the void of Discord. Check out my Twitter, Adam. I sent you and Dex the links. I set everything up myself. So that's great. I encourage all of you guys, if you want to start your own community, that's fine. But just so you know, we will have an official purpose. We even had, I believe, mods and other people setting up things. Again, make sure before you go to any community to make sure if it is an official or not. If it's not official, go ahead. Just remember, our official one will be announced, and we will let you guys know that via alerts, via YouTube, via everything else. But everybody, obviously you're free to go wherever you like, and if you guys want to congregate somewhere, that's totally cool. Judith Donnelly, thank you again. Appreciate that. Fox 35 investigates. Florida Department of Health says some labs have not reported negative CV results. So again, this is something that across the country we have seen different articles on. It doesn't make everything look too great, does it? Says, after Fox 35 News noticed errors in the state reports on positivity rates, the Florida Department of Health said that some laboratories have not been reporting negative results data to the state. Countless labs have reported a 100% positivity rate, which means every single person tested was positive. Other labs had very high positivity rates, which is a horrible thing to be positive of. Fox 35 News found that testing sites like one local Centra Care reported that 83 people were tested and all tested positive. So again, you guys can be the judge on that one. Again, if they're going to report the negative, it will change. That's the thing. If they report the negative, is it going to really change it that much as far as... because they're not going by the ratios. They're just going by the number positive. Well, some think that this is kind of wrong because it's basically saying it's making the, 10 out of 10 are positive kind of thing in this state. So I don't know where this would fit into play. Why would they not show the negative results? Don't know. You guys can be the judge of that. It is on marfooglenews.com. It's very weird, though. That's to say the least. Grace for you too says, good to be with the fam tonight. Studio looks great. Welcome back. Congrats. Thank you, Channel Jammer. And thank you for being around for so freaking long. Debbie O, Red Butterfly. Thank you guys for the lemons. Digital Steven, Pistol Bear, Cutthroat Mom. We've got Aunt Jenny in the house. We've got Lacey May 33. Thank you for being here. And April Osborne, thank you for gifting Lacey a subscription. Baldylocks Awake says, Jen lay awake and I are glad you are back. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you and your wife, and I just really appreciate all of you guys that have come every single show, rain or shine. So thank you. Shy the Coffee, thank you. Barefoot Lass, Stamper Love, Renegade Petey, Jojo A. We've got Snowboard. I don't think I've seen your name before. Nice to see you here. Little Rusty, drop the W word. LOL, shout out Jensen. I think I said war. Yeah. I don't, that's one that if you say a lot, some people don't get why we do what we do, but it's the pattern and it's the amount that overall changes the ratio of how the computer sees it. So if you say it a lot, it will put you into the red. It's really weird. I'll have to explain it on a whole video one of these days. Kelly SG1, I just thought about you like yesterday. SHTF in November. T-Man re-elected. Prepare for hell. Imagine he does. And a lot of people are just seeing it that way. They're putting in a lot of stuff. Like I think that somehow they're going to get mail-in ballots. I mean, it seems to me like there's going to be a second wave right around then. They're saying a second wave is coming. They're saying a second wave is going to be here like now, right into then. Just seems like something is going to happen. Tuck Pup, again, thank you. Luna Soul, thank you. Faith and Hope Canada. Refrigerated trucks requested in Arizona. Texas as morgues reach capacity amid the CV surge. Some Arizona and Texas counties are running out of space in their morgues and have put out calls for refrigerated trucks in which to store bodies and help take some pressure off of local medical examiners' offices. It says a long-expected upturn in the U.S. CV-19 deaths across the U.S. have begun, driven by fatalities in states in the South and the West. The number of deaths per day from the virus have been falling for months and even remain down as states like Florida and Texas saw explosions in cases and hospitalizations, and reported daily U.S. infections broke records several times in recent days. Again, I'm going to let you guys go to the website for the rest of this one. It's really hard to kind of just like what I just said right up until November, and this is not good, right? This means if we're seeing articles like this, and if we're seeing news and mainstream news like this, that means we're most likely going to have government follow along with government mandated lockdowns. So, do I think that we're in the clear? Not at all. At all. So we'll see what happens with this. For any Cascadia, thank you again. Thank you for the big support, but you can always write a message, so then you can even say hi or anything. Earthwoman, thank you. I appreciate you being here. Phil Billy, what is going on? Just got a subscription from Yobi. Yobi, I have not met you yet. Thank you so much for that. Dory Minations, thank you. Stamper Love, 23 Skidoo, and YouTube admin. OZ Zombie, thanks for following. I appreciate that. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. All right, let's see here. Atlanta, LA, San Diego to keep schools closed. What do you guys think about this as far as keeping schools closed, even though most of the country is opening things back up? What do you guys think about how the rules are changing now? So some places are not even letting you work from home if you have kids. But if you have kids and they're not going to school, then what the heck? That means you can't work and your kids can't go to school, so then you're stuck at home with no money. Doesn't make too much sense. It says, resisting pressure from President DT, 3 of the nation's largest school districts said Monday that they will begin the new school year with all students learning from home. I bet you've got some parents that are not too happy about that. It says schools in Los Angeles, Diego, and Atlanta will begin entirely online, officials said Monday. Schools in Nashville plan to do the same, at least throughout Labor Day. Several other big cities were considering similar plans, while others have adopted hybrid plans, though which students would be in school on certain days and at home on others. Some have announced plans to open 5 days a week, as the White House has demanded, but they appear to be in the minority. So they're directly going against what the president is saying. Now, you're in Atlanta, Dex. Luckily, your kids are mostly all grown, right? That's not going to affect you. I assume.
Yeah, it's not going to affect me directly, but I sort of look at this and say, when you're dealing with this, you should look at the science. And we've got countries around the world that have already opened their schools back up, and we've got evidence that we can look at what happened there. We know what the infection rates are. The scientists know that as it relates to children or not really. I think some of these decisions are, it's interesting to look at why they're making these decisions and go back and ask, does the science really validate the decision they're making? And I'll let people make that, ask that question and look into it themselves.
I think part of this show is that we let you guys know, hey, go look into this, go research and really ask that question. That's the whole point. It's kind of like the gateway drug to truth. Fire crews battle San Diego Navy ship fire. 18 sailors injured. Now, Dex, you asked something that a lot of people are asking, and it's a good question. Isn't this thing still burning? Is that true?
Yeah, it was still today. I don't know what the status of it is tonight, but yeah, it's been burning for quite a while. I think I heard somewhere that they said it was a welder, but it just seems mighty odd that massive fire on that ship, and that's a pretty important ship. It's an amphibious ship, right? And so it's kind of like an aircraft carrier in the sense that it's got a lot of aircrafts on it that can take off.
And we've
Pretty
actually
expensive.
we've showed pictures of this too. It had the back end has this like almost like a garage that some of the boats can be in the water, and then some of the stuff can like actually sits inside the boat and then comes out on it. These things are massive. They're amazing ships. But I guess would the ship, the oil be on fire? Like, how does a fire last for 3 days, especially one that's out in the water?
I think at one point they
were
were talking about the fire was getting near where the fuel was stored. I don't know that it got to that part. I don't know. It's a military operation. The last I read, they were giving everything they had to it to try and put it out.
And I'm not saying, obviously, the fire could happen on the water. That doesn't matter because the parts that are above. But I'm saying if it's contained out, it's out there, it's on the water, it's on fire. How can it possibly? And it's a steel ship. I don't know. I guess. And if it hasn't reached the fuel, what is the accelerant and how? And don't they have those made so they can separate parts, like cut off oxygen? I know it's not a sub, but still, they have actual parts in a ship like that to make sure that they can kind of separate it. I don't know. There must have been some sort of accelerant. If you guys know, put it in the comments. Obviously, we didn't, do a super dig on this one. Why would there, or if you've ever been on that kind of ship, if you're ex-military or current military, why would a fire run that long? Either way, Shy the Coffee, California trying to push people out for some reason, in my opinion. Like, push people out of California, like, completely. Baldy locks away, keeping kids at home is bovine scatology. I'm going to have to Google what that means. Scatology. I would assume it's like putting pigs in a pen or something. I don't know. J Farm 2, thank you. I appreciate your lemon. New York Gal 1967, thank you for subscribing monthly. That is super appreciated. Now you got the Marfia badge. Truth Seeker 57, thank you. And Lebesgu. This name looks like it's gonna need one of those. Lebesguenator. Lebescuntegrator. Lebescunuticator. Thanks for subscribing. God's Parton, thank you for subscribing. As always, if you subscribe during the show and I can say your name, you will get a shout out. Rain Eco Style, thank you for subscribing just now. Charles Wilson, thank you for subscribing just now. I appreciate all of you guys that are following and subscribing. Kevin Furman, glad you're back. Here's a couple bucks for the 4th Kids College, even though colleges are a breeding ground for cancerous liberal cancer culture. Oh, Kevin, that's awesome. Thank you. And hopefully they'll be good in 20 years. I was just talking to a family member. This was set up 10 years ago in the colleges. You know that, right? Like, we heard about this 10 years ago, 5 years ago. We saw it happening. All those people graduated. That big group that came from, there was lots of groups. Came from the colleges, went into different key positions, and then boom, you got yourself a takeover. Right Side of Floyd, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. And Judith Donnelly, again, thank you. Let's see here. Now we've got, oh man. All right, so anybody who follows Q or anything like it knows all about this. And I was just as fascinated as everybody else on this because I saw it before they changed it, before they even took it down. Wayfair, which a lot of people know, like when I think Wayfair, I think of like, lawn furniture that's kind of, it's fancier, but it's ordered only by catalog, so it's kind of expensive. I always thought Wayfair, like, wicker chairs or whatever, they're nice. The way I know about them is like if you see one on Facebook Marketplace, you're like, oh, that's a nice wicker set or whatever. Oh, Wayfair, okay. It's above Target, but it's below anything like super nice. They have a catalog of stuff, right? Furniture, all sorts of stuff. Well, obviously, a lot of people have heard this about. This went mainstream, and that's what's so crazy. Within the same kind of couple day period, you had General Flynn saying, "Where we go one, we go all," in a video saying, "Take the oath," and he actually does the oath with a bunch of his family. It looks like his wife and his friends. And then drops "Where we go one, we go all" on that video, which to me, that actually has put me back into looking into a lot of this stuff. When you get a 3-star general saying something, it's either way more towards a psyop or way more towards this is like real deal Holyfield. So I'm still going to stay exactly where I'm at, but I am definitely, I've definitely been following. So in that same time period, then Reddit came out with this thing, and they found this thing on Wayfair. There were $14,000, $12,000, $10,000 cabinets, and they all looked the same, and they had these weird names that matched up with missing kids. This was extremely creepy, but again, this is mainstream now. It went completely mainstream. You got Forbes, you got Fox, you got Routers, you got MSNBC, you got all these different places. I don't think I saw CNN, but I don't know. It's kind of weird who doesn't cover it, right? When you looked at it, they said, "Oh no, this is totally explainable. These are industrial cabinets. They actually cost that much. The price was not the mistake. It just wasn't explained too well." They took those ads down. So $15,000 for Samaya, 5, whatever. And they didn't put a replacement back. Okay, so explain it. Show us a picture of these cabinets. What is worth it? Are they made out of gold? Is this the gold shopping site for government planes? Do you sell toilet seats, golden toilet seats for $30,000 for congressmen? What is it on the WFX utility line that costs $15,000 for a single cabinet? Or does it say, it's a whole setup? And how would they do it? So it didn't have a quantity. Is it 16 cabinets? Is it 25 cabinets and it goes all the way across a certain square footage? Where's the explanation? They took it down and then they didn't put it back up. There were also Zodiac pillows that were $10,000. Yes, some celebrities spend some pretty crazy amounts of stuff, but they're not spending $10,000 on a Zodiac pillow with their sign on it. In fact, for $10,000, you could have a car, it might be a crappy car, custom painted with your Zodiac sign. You would not have a pillow unless it was a pillow made out of some sort of religious cloth from the Bible days. I don't think you're going to pay that much from it. What do you guys think about this? Do you think this... It seems to me like online there's been a lot of hidden things that we didn't have any idea about. And every time somebody discovers, and I think what it is somebody who actually knows about it, whistleblows on it, or mentions it, or gets in a fight with somebody in their dark cult land, and then lets it out into the public. There are so many weird Google and dark web things out there that I completely... I don't believe what their official thing was. Not to mention with EpiPen, Jeffrey EpiPen. Look at what is real. This is real, folks. This is why you watch your kid in Target. This is why, even just around the corner, it's not okay. Even just around the little corner. I've seen videos of these creeps in the Target, literally the kid's 5 feet away from their mom, and literally pulls their hand in the same aisle, pulls their hand just right around and out an exit door. That's why I watch my kids like no other. Because this is not only real, it is happening all around you, and these people are literally demons. And they are all around us. As far as the Wayfair thing, just for the people that have been under a rock, again, Dex didn't know about the Comet. Not a lot of people did. I'll talk about that here in a second. With Wayfair, the cabinets were crazy prices, like you're actually buying a kid in a cabinet or whatever, right? $15,000 for a cabinet. and they all looked the same. They had the same description pictures. They had the same everything. What I noticed is the names that matched the younger children were like up in the 14, 15, 17,000. The kids that matched the teenage missing kids were in like the 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. Just something I noticed that I didn't see too many people saying. What do you guys think? Are you creeped out by that? Or do you think it was just a simple mistake? I'm probably going to do a Twitter poll. I would love to hear you guys come out in groves and let me know what you guys think. You can check me out on Twitter at Marfoogle. If you guys want to support us in a different way and, again, protect yourself, guys, with everything that's going on, nobody ever thinks that any of this kind of stuff is going to happen. But again, EMP is something that we have talked about numerous times. We've talked about it since 2018 when Department of Homeland Security said that we, as Americans, should all have 6 months to a year of food in case the power goes out due to an attack. Our grid is severely underrated, and that's why they wrote that paper to the president, which he actually signed a bill, and they are trying to, as fast as they can, make our grid better. But until then, you can do something else. You can actually get an EMP shield. Somebody said that they were trying to first of all, EMP shield has worked with the U.S. government. They've worked with DOD. They have now worked with the Texas grid, and they were officially on the DEMSO team helping protect Texas. So again, you guys, check this out. You can actually wire it into several different devices. They make one for your car, your house, your boat. But again, this can, and I believe will, save lives eventually. EMP protection, all three phases of an EMP. It can protect pretty much anything that you got if you get the right one. Again, the one that people don't think about is solar. You have a solar panel. If you have a whole solar system, it should be protected. If you have a ham radio, you can actually get one for that. If you have your generator, your vehicle in your house, you basically have your own grid right there, because after everything goes down, they go, well, what if the grid never comes up? That's why you have one on your generator, and therefore, if your home is protected, all of your devices still work, and your vehicle still gets you to your bug-out spot. So, again, check it out. That is marfooglenews.com/EMP. Again, that's marfooglenews.com/EMP. Eventually, somebody will be saying thank you. Baldylocks Awake, thank you. I appreciate you being here. You and your wife are awesome. Thank you. Let's see here. We've got Who Flung Dung says, massive shout out, stay positive, shining people. Right side of Floyd, thank you for following. Lioness 12, 7 Ruby Rose, Nosdick, Heaven's Calling, and Stamper Love. What's up, Deckloff, and Fixin' to Love Q. Bogstown, Maxwell is letting the cat out of the bag. So, again, they are actually, she says she has videos of all these celebrities, and that she's going to release them for a lighter sentence, or at least that's the word on the streets. Who do you think is going to be on that list? I think there's going to be quite a lot. And then we've got new followers. We've got Crypto Kid. Thank you for following. We've got Adrenaline, I like that. Dory Manations, thank you. Dick Ritchie, thank you for following. And it looks like lots of new, I can't even say all of those. Whisker Biscuit says, thank you for working hard to keep this awesome show going. Marfoogle News is the best news around. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for the Ninja Guinea. I appreciate that more than you know. Let's see here. Truth Seeker 57. We've got Lovin' SC. Thank you again for being here. And then Yobi has been gifting out Marfoogle badges like crazy. Or Marfia badges. Scat Smack, thank you. OZ Zombie, thank you. End Times, welcome back, man. It's been a while. Thank you for supporting, and I see you support a lot of different creators. So if you can't, again, there are some really, really cool creators over here, and I appreciate you support all of them. Let's see. Jeffrey EpiPen's alleged Lee Maxwell faces judge's bail decision. Dex, can you explain this one as far as?
Well, yeah. So they put together a case to suggest that she's a major flight risk, especially since she's got passport and I think citizenship in France, and if she makes it to France, then there's no extradition. The actual the hearing was I think it was today. It's already done, and she was not granted bail, so she is going to remain in custody until the trial, which I want to say is July of next year. So she's got a pretty good long time to sit in a cell. And last I heard, they were actually moving her to different cells with different cellmates because of the risk. They needed to keep her on the move.
Oh, yeah. With different hooks and with different, height ceilings and different choking hands.
Different opportunities to catch CV, I guess. I don't know.
That's true, too. All of a sudden, yeah. And then all of a sudden we see a video like this. That was the body being wheeled away, but it wasn't very good. I couldn't get as flat as I wanted to, and it's just a bit that didn't work. Sadly, not a lot of them do. Anyways, to go back into it, it was denied, so we're going to see her. Somebody said the funniest thing, and I'm sure this is something that's popular now. Somebody said, why can't we watch Ghislaine Maxwell like we watched that baby giraffe at the zoo? Like a 24-hour feed of Ghislaine Maxwell. I think after EpiPen, I think that should be legal almost. Like, obviously give her, it seems to me like it is in the country's best interest that she not only stays alive, but she busts every last person. I think she should be kept in a public place, maybe not the bathroom, but like in a clear, almost like the, what was the superhero movie where the Max prison is all glass? I think that she should be kept in a glass cell. Maybe the bathroom is covered, but literally on Times Square so everybody can watch where she is. Because it is going to be absolute. If she testifies or gives out information, it could change our entire world. Literally, our entire world. Like world leaders. It's crazy. Think about how fast he got taken out. She might just catch something. We don't know. Remember, you guys, it's more important than ever to get on marfooglenews.com and not only be subscribed for notifications. That's just for simple stuff like, hey, you're going to get a push notification for the shows when they go live. It will actually show you on your phone. You get it from us directly instead of having to deal with the algorithm gods. Somebody just showed me that they got a alert like 2 days ago from my show 2 weeks ago. That's bull, okay? That's not okay. Get over there for that. But there's also alerts. Now, when you go to our website, marfooglenews.com, we use it so sparingly. We, rarely send stuff out. When we do, it has purpose. Again, if we get information of something that's going to happen and we know for a fact, and again, people say, well, you never sent this and that. That's because we're only going to send out a serious warning if we get a serious warning and we have vetted it and it's backed up. That will be on our alert system. That is a way we can get a hold of you no matter what. Again, get on there, marfooglenews.com, go to Discord and alerts. Discord is, of course, down, so make sure to get on alerts. Awake 2 says, congratulations, Adam and Mama. God bless prayers. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Awake 2. Channel Jammer, 22,000. Congrats. It was crazy. I literally was like 2 away for 3 days, and I kept getting 7 and losing like 5. So I don't know what the heck was going on there. It's a beast of a thing. I don't know what we're at right now, but looks like we've passed 22,000 on DLive, which is awesome. Texas 2018, thank you for gifting subscriptions to the channel. You're basically giving the Mafia badge away. I appreciate that. Meet Goya Foods CEO Robert Yanyaninu, who sparked a protest of his Latino foods company after saying the U.S. was, quote, truly blessed to have T-Man as a president. Wow, you do not see that very often. This is Goya. Red kidney beans. Wow, that is a giant can of Goya.
You know what's funny, Adam? You know, we did our part, and when we were doing our grocery shopping, we always pick up our Goya food because we like it. But I noticed that just the other day, or just yesterday, they put up the sign saying limiting because so many people were buying. So now they're limiting the amount you're allowed to buy.
Of Goya?
Yes, of Goya. So like it used to be like, oh, you know, you only, you know, in the meat section, only buy 2 of these, you know, try to respect everyone else so that you don't buy all the meat, or don't buy all. Now in the Goya section, there's a sign that says, please limit the amount of Goya you buy.
But it says that people are protesting it. So some people are protesting it, but the other side is buying so many that they are limiting it. Is that right?
Yes. Everyone seems to be buying. I think they probably made more money from a protest because I guess there's more people wanting to support.
They're making more money during a boycott. Boycotted. Oh, now we can't keep food on the shelves. I don't know. They make more than red kidney beans, right? Like, I don't.
Yeah, they got rice, they got beans, they got lots of good stuff.
Oh, okay. Because
it's just in the Latino community, it's a staple. I mean, there's a lot. You know, there's. I understand huge support.
Here's one question though. Why do the cans all look like they're from the 70s though? Like, this is a recent picture, and the cans still look like they're from the 70s. Even the printing, like. The picture is the same, is it not? Like, did they just never change their picture? Is that like a branding thing or something? I don't get it.
Yeah, it must be. But it's very recognizable. It's looked the same for as long as I can remember, and we buy Goya food all the time.
That's pretty funny. Well, he says this is his look. Yep, they're boycotting me. Amazon unveils shopping cart that knows what you're buying. Okay, Dex, you're the tech guy. What the heck is up with this? It's actually, is it predicting?
I think no. It's I think if I understand this is a shopping cart that you literally, as you're putting stuff in, is keeping track of what you're putting in the cart, so that as you walk out the store, it just charges you.
Oh my gosh! But why Amazon? Because Amazon, do they?
Well, they got Whole Foods, right?
Oh my gosh! So as you put it in, it's got some sort of RFID kind of dinger. It goes into the cart, and it knows that it's there. So then wow! Can you imagine this? So you walk into this store, and you literally put everything in your cart, and you just walk to your car. It charges your card automatically.
Yeah, I can tell you from experience, not with this cart that they've developed, but like going into my local Sam's Club, they have this scan and pay on your phone. And you literally, everything you put in your cart, if you just scan it with your phone, when you're done on your phone, you hit checkout and you literally walk out the door. You never even go in the checkout line. And then the little the ticker person that checks your receipt just basically checks your phone, scans it, and says, have a nice day. So from a convenience point of view, that's like really, really convenient, especially skipping these long lines in these stores. Now what they're doing is taking it to the next level and putting it completely in the cart. So it's not on you to scan. It just knows everything you put in there.
So so the future is we're not even going to need the checkers. That's cutting another position out, by the way. Dex and I have actually covered pretty much every job being taken out, especially in like grocery stores. You're already seeing it. You see the floor cleaner, the floor polisher, because they're all that, laminate, whatever, permanent laminate flooring. And the floor cleaners are all robots, and they'll just whiz right past you. And the first couple times you see it, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, Now I don't even notice it, but I notice it. They're there all the time now. They're all just running around the store. That means the gentleman who sits on that chair, it reminds you of like a sit-on lawnmower, only it's a polisher, and this thing goes by itself. Well, now they're coming out. They have all these kind of things. They're doing self-lawn mowing. In fact, by the way, they're coming out with a self-lawn mowing thing. They've already come out with them, kind of, but they're coming out with one that's going to basically be on everybody's lawn. Everybody's going to own one of these things. It's a lawnmower that does it itself, and it even empties itself, does everything. Everybody's going to have one of these things. That means that's taking away from, somebody doing your lawn or somebody cutting your lawn. There's so many jobs that are being taken out. Those are lower jobs, right? But truck driving, that's disappearing with the smart driving trucks, especially when they have a technology that's going to pin them all back to back to back to back to back. You're going to see highways of trucks going 70 miles an hour, an inch from each other, with tons of loads, not one driver. You're going to see pilots. Now pilots, they have a machine. We showed you that where they actually put a machine in place of a pilot in a normal plane, and this thing did everything a normal pilot would do, took off and landed. They have that is going into place. So that's a pilot, which that's another a well-paying career. And by well-paying, you can kind of be the judge of it as far as something that's not, immediate minimum wage. It's something that usually you went to school for it and you got. Welding. They are now coming up with these welding robots that companies would have. I mean, the only job that I would say is going to be somewhat reliable is people who can fix robots. So if you might want to send your kid to robot school or mechanics for mechanics. I don't know. Judith Donnelly, thank you so much for your support, and thank you for being here for a long time, too. Thank you guys for all coming tonight. Brenda Loritz over on YouTube says, hello, Marfam Dex. You just put us all together. Marfam Dex. That sounds like a brand by itself in the Goya aisle. Marfam Dex. Sewing tonight. That's awesome. Yeah, you sewed our names together. Suzanne Metzger, thank you for subscribing. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. Lady T, love you so much. Because of you and Jesus, I am prepared. Lady T, and I'm so sorry, but you actually said I'm prepared. I'm prepared. I know what you meant though. I'm prepared. I think we're all a bit prepared. Mind Felista, reflect. Adam, now you can easily piece together why all the CEOs stepped down. So with everything that's going on, I think something more is coming before 2024. That's what I think. I think there's something massive coming. And I think everybody's okay because they have a solution for it or they have an out. I don't know. It's pretty scary stuff. All right, let's see. By the way, guys, if you are on the computer 24/7, like all of us are, you guys should have a VPN, a virtual private network. Dex, can you explain this? I'm going to get the phones ready. We're going to have people calling in at 224-400-MARF. Can you explain why people should have Nord real quick?
Yeah, certainly. As we're all connected to the internet, a VPN is a critical tool that helps put an extra layer of protection between you and the bad guys. So when the bad guys are looking to get to your computer or get to your phone, they're really looking for your IP address. So when you use a VPN, you're actually moving your connection out into another IP address that is not yours. So if they do get to it, they're not going to be attacking you. They're attacking your VPN provider. It can also be used to help you get through firewalls. We've seen like folks that were in China trying to get information out will use a VPN to get around the firewall, get around the censorship. So as we see more and more censorship coming on board, if we need tools like this to get around it, it's a very beneficial tool to help you get around different types of network blocks that are out there. It's really easy to use. You turn it on, you turn it off, literally like a light switch. It works on your phone, your computer, up to multiple devices you can use. So just go to marfooglenews.com/VPN, and they have a special deal just for the Foogle fam, and it helps support the show.
Well, thank you, Dex. Again, that's marfooglenews.com/VPN. So we're going to get into this. Go to the website. Remember, you can go to all of the websites, everything that we have just shown you. All of the articles are going to be right here. You can go and actually, wait a second. You know what? I just realized. Didn't hit my favorite topic of the night. Okay, so Neowise. And I loaded it. I just loaded it and skilled it off there. Okay, it says now a naked eye comment after nobody saw it coming. It says Neowise coming. Here's how you can see it going. So now it's on the last day. What's funny is Dex didn't even know about this until today, which is okay. He's been focused on everything else, all the more serious stuff. But again, it is kind of weird that a lot of people did not know about this, and this was such a comment that everybody could see it all around the country. Now, TuckPup actually sent me, said, hey, how do I get a picture of Neowise to you? You can actually tweet it to me. I don't know if you have Twitter, but you can actually tweet and tag at Marfoogle, and I can pull it up. That would be the easiest way for me to do it on stream. And it looks like we did have some skipped frames here. Don't know. Maybe that's because of the use of this one. But check this out. This is literally a comet that came out of nowhere. And we just discovered it a few months ago. And somebody was saying, well, I think I'm missing it here because it's 1.7 astronomical units away. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not worried about this thing hitting. I just think it's weird that, we've had some things that we said we were going to be able to see. What was it? It was Atlas. They said that it would be the biggest event in our lifetimes, and it got brighter and brighter, and we were going to be able to see it. It was going to be brighter than the moon. And then all of a sudden it started breaking up. Then key in about the same time that Atlas was supposed to do this comes out, and it just gets discovered. Nobody saw it coming. I just thought it was weird the lack of coverage this got. And yes, it did hit the little tiny oh, look at Neowise, you can see it tonight. This thing was bigger. And how do we know it's 1.7 astronomical units away? How do we know, that everybody's being honest? All of the big, huge telescopes are shut down right now. So I guess if you are an expert, if you have your own gear, if you have your own telescopes, then you can say, no, I looked at it. It's definitely 1.7 astronomical units away. But otherwise, with all of the telescopes being closed because of CV-19, how do we know this? You remember the weird stuff with the movie Greenland being taken down, all of the previews being taken down? They moved back the release, and I think they did that maybe because people didn't need a end-of-the-world scenario film like that when at the same time that everybody was talking about Atlas. Atlas was, at one point, people were kind of freaking out that it would hit us. And I don't think this is going to hit us. I don't think it's anything. I'm just saying there's something odd about the whole, we just keep discovering these things within a matter of months. And this one was a brilliant sight. Everybody saw it. How do we know it's 1.7 astronomical units away? I'm guessing some scientists can, you're such a dummy, blah, blah, obvious reasons. You can count the blah, blah, blah. If you have a scientific answer for that, I'm sure you do. But do you have the gear that can look at this yourself? I know that there's a lot of independent people that have the gear that can, really zoom in on these things. Where are those pictures? I would love to see that. That's all I'm saying. I think that this is a perfect example, though, for just anybody that they don't see everything coming. They all of a sudden know that this goes around every 6,000 years or every 3,000 years, and it won't be back for this amount of time. How do we not see this with all the technology? Did we not see this because of all those telescopes shut down for CV-19? Which, by the way, these huge telescopes, some of them can be run by one person. Some of them can be run by as little as 2 people or 3 people. Why are they shut down for CV? It's kind of weird. Why did they want us all at home spending time with family? A couple months ago, people were thinking maybe it's because we're about to be impacted in about a year. So we're spending as much time close with the fam as we can. Why are we trying to get to other planets? Why are we doing all these asteroid missions? Just saying. Sorry. It's just weird. It's just weird. Archives of Truth. What is going on? Just comes in and slaps us. You didn't write a message, Archives. Thank you so much. And I hope you're feeling better, and I hope everything's going well with you. I appreciate you coming onto both platforms and supporting. Mustard Seed, thank you for subscribing. Judith Donnelly, thank you again as well. Okay, so we're going to get into this. I'm going to head over to DLive. We're going to get the calls going. Tuck Pup, you can tweet me. I'll check my Twitter here in a second. If you don't have Twitter, you can send adam@marfooglenews.com, but I won't be able to get to it today. I can show it on tomorrow's show. Kahaja Flygirl, Kevin Spacey is sure on Ghislaine's list. So what's crazy about Kevin Spacey is he did the very popular show, Dex, help me out here. House of Cards. House of Cards is one of the best shows, hands down. But then you find out Spacey is like a total creepo, and it just makes you even more creeped out because he plays it way too well on that show. He also plays just a scum. And you think they're gangster on the show. Like, you watch it and you're like, oh my gosh, that was gangster. You know, how they do things and how they take over. That's more closer to reality than some of these crazy things they say are conspiracy theories. That's actually probably closer to reality than we think. In fact, some people thought it mirrored real life situations. And in some episodes, Kevin Spacey was, T-Man. And some episodes, Kevin Spacey was Hillary. Like, the situations they would take from real life stuff. That's how I felt when I watched that show. It felt like, this stuff really happens. They took from real times, like we're tracking the cell phone and doing... If you watch the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Cutthroat Mom, Enchanted Bayou, thank you guys for the lemons. Thank you all the people that end up supporting, no matter how big or little you do. Thank you for watching, and thank you for hanging out. Okay. Let's see. Let's get the first call in here. I don't have my the calls open, so Dex, I'm going blind. It's of course first show back in a week in a new studio. So
yeah, hey Adam, you want me to get the first caller on?
Yeah, introduce him. I don't even know their name.
Hey, Chris, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Hello, Marf. Hello, guys. You guys are doing a great job. Just want to tell you what.
What's going on, Chris? How you doing?
It's awesome. I'm doing good, mate. I'm like 99% along with all your stuff. You know what I mean? It's all good. It's such a great show. You guys, all your fans, they got to know that. But yeah, the mask thing, it's like, what do you do with that?
Now, it says...
Not go get groceries if you can't, or you're going to protest, or like, no. What do you do? What do we do right now? Like, because I'm not wearing a mask nowhere,
Well, see, you're going to get pushback from people around you. I actually saw a guy taken out of the Target by citizens, and I didn't have my phone, and I was so pissed. The thing is, now we've seen it everywhere. People will I'm in Washington. I'm in a very masky city.
I'm in Oregon.
Yeah, that you are too then.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I've walked into a bunch of places, and like sometimes I say I have a medical condition, and so it's like, what is that? Well, you could say anything, I have asthma. You could say anything, and they have to let you go. They can't really enforce it. So it's just a weird thing.
That's the thing. No, not here. That's what I'm saying. People will say they have a medical condition, and they say, no, you still have to wear it. And they will actually, people that don't work at the store will escort you physically out of the store. I've seen it happen. And that's what some people don't like.
What about the fines, though? They say in Oregon, I think it's a $300 fine.
I don't know what it is here. I just know that it's more the people that people are worried about, because the citizens are like stepping in and doing it. This is, if you go on Twitter, there are thousands of videos at this point of people physically like mobbing up too, and like getting in gangs and saying, get out of the store.
I know it's getting rough. I know it's getting rough.
So,
I know it's getting rough out there. It's just like, the thing is, what do you do? Do you just have to comply just to get your groceries? You know, it seems you have to walk through a line too, and if you don't have a mask, they won't let you through. And so that you have to start there. You know, it's like a Monopoly game. And then if you go into certain places where they're not really enforcing it, they, you know, you still get the nasty looks from everybody if you're not wearing one. Well, if your mask works, then you shouldn't be worried about me.
No, it's a great point. But again, with everything, you know, we have to say as a show, because we're responsible for everybody, do what your state law says.
Of course, I wear the mask when I have to. I have to buy groceries for my family, bro. You know.
Well, I think
Marfoogle, you get it. You know, I have to comply when I have to, but it just seems outrageous at a certain point.
Do you wear it in your car?
Negative.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, but I see it a lot here.
Just like, it's just hard. It depends on where you live, because like there's certain stores where they don't care, and it's not that you shouldn't care, you know, if they let you in without a mask. Yeah, I know everybody's safety is a concern because it's a real thing. It's whatever. You know, I don't know anybody, you know, that's been affected, but whatever it is, you know, it's just the compliance. Just watching everybody look like a ninja. Everybody looks like they're about to rob the store. You know, every store you go in. So when I go into certain stores with no mask, I don't look like the guy who's about to rob the store. You know, everybody looks like an Antifa member right now. If you understand, you know what I'm saying. Everybody looks like a ninja, and I get it, and it's hard for the public, but.
Well, so there is a theory that they say that they are actually checking if they can do facial recognition just of your eyes, and the 6 feet apart is because the computers are not good at multiple groups of people. So if you're 6 feet apart and then they're testing the facial recognition on that, that's just a theory that is a fringe theory on the internet, saying that all of the surveillance.
I hear you, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, Marf. Yeah, you know what it is. I know they're going to implement everything they can, you know, to try to, you know, just crack down on people not wearing a mask. But, you know, they can crack down on the Antifas not wearing a mask. You know what I mean? But they used to wear the mask. Now we all look like Antifa, and I don't like that.
Well, we'll just say that word one more time. No. Either way, I get what you're saying, Chris. Thank you for calling in tonight, and I appreciate you. And again, it's up to you.
Appreciate you too, bro.
I'm sure there's a lot of people.
Soon. My next paycheck.
There's a lot of people that agree with you. I know it. Let's see here. So again, I guess here's the thing. Where I'm at, people are actually they're extremely on edge about this. What's crazy is it's gone back and forth several times. I'm in Seattle, and Seattle is 87% of our population voted for Hillary. So you can tell, you know, what kind of folks live here. And our governor has been at constant bumping heads with T-Man. So and then of course we had Chaz. We of course had Jenny Durkin. We had all this kind of stuff going on at the same time. The people here literally and physically have accosted people, but then it's gone back and forth. I just find it kind of crazy. I was wearing a mask before anybody, because before anybody even thought of this, I was telling people, like, why are all these states buying masks? I didn't know what this was. Either way, I'm going to be careful about everything and anything. And as far as like wearing a mask, I was wearing a mask when nobody was wearing a mask. Now, it's a statement not to wear a mask. But again, it's gone back and forth here. I've seen it to where after it happened, nobody was wearing one. And then when an article comes out saying, the CDC or the WHO or they say this, all of a sudden the next day it's totally changed. And then another article comes out in 4 days, then it's totally changed. Everybody's wearing one, and you're the jerk for not wearing them. I think a lot of stuff is going on right now. But again, it's not our place to tell you whether to or whether not to. But we do give you the information so you can go check it out yourself. Officially, though, if we just give you the mainstream whatever, some people are like, why are we still doing this? It just doesn't make too much sense. Up next, Tuck Pup. Tuck Pup, do you have pictures of Neowise? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Marv. How's it going? What's up, fam? And Marv, congratulations on the new kid on the way, man. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. You've been in the chat for over a year, I would say. Have you been here for 2 years?
I've been following you for coming up on about a year and a half now, so almost 2 years. Yeah. That's
crazy. So Dex it doesn't look like we have a link to a picture. Do you have a picture? Is that what you were trying to say? Or?
I tweeted you one. I posted in the comments section on your live stream post, and it's actually a buddy took a picture over some high alpine lakes in Colorado there, and then I hit you with a tweet as well. I'm not good at the Twitter thing, but I tried.
Okay, let me see if I can pull this up. So hold on one sec.
Yeah, and then just while we're in between, I moved up from Michigan up to Minnesota here, and I'll tell you what, I came up here the day after all the unrest started, and man, I didn't get a chance to see it for about a month. I without getting too detailed, I had a little bit of personal misfortunes and had to get my act back together here, so I took 30 days off of the rest of the world. And man, when I got back into real life and rode down Lake Street in Minneapolis, it's almost scary. Like I remember watching that Greenland trailer, and I actually still have it screen recorded on my phone, but it's almost like there's parts of Lake Street that look as if they've been decimated. I mean, melted steel framework, the entire strip of Lake Street that got hit with those riots. And I know it's been like that in other cities too, but my heart really went out to the people in Minneapolis, St. Paul down here. And I can only imagine what the other cities looked like too, man. It's crazy,
Now, when you say the Greenland had a scene in it in the trailer that shows kind of everybody rioting and fire and people running with shopping carts and just people running out of stuff. You're saying that basically parts of Minneapolis actually look like that. On top of that, is that what you're saying?
The aftermath, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not so much the people running around anymore, but the aftermath of it. I mean, you drive down, there's probably a straight mile and a half of 20 to 30 burned buildings between. I mean, I don't know. It almost made me cry driving down it, man, because it's just sad that this is what our society's come to, and whether it's planned or not. I think it's just a grim reminder that when people are left to our own devices, I mean, it gets really real. And the real question is what are we, what are we really accomplishing here as a human race, especially in the United States, whether or not, we're in agreement on what the government's doing and so on. It's just like, I don't think any of this necessarily needed to happen. And now it's continuing, obviously, like it's continuing in Portland. And it's not that what happened to GF wasn't bad. But the fact of the matter is there's a lot more, there's some positive things that we can do about it. And it's not tear apart our cities, especially given the fact that we're already losing a vast majority of the population due to this CV thing,
Well, as far as one thing that you just said I didn't realize, and I don't think it's showing too much on the news, is you said that even if you're exaggerating a little bit, you said close to 30 or something like that, buildings burnt down. I've only heard about one. Is there multiple? No, just even if I know you were probably exaggerating, but is there multiple buildings burnt down in on that strip?
Oh, multiple, absolutely. I can, you know what? I'll cruise up there tomorrow and I'll get you some pictures. I mean, a bunch of different Napas. They hit. I would say, if I'm exaggerating, I would say there's at least 15, at least a dozen burned to the ground.
Wow. I only knew about a couple. You don't see it really because you see one at a time. But if you live there and you're running down that street and you go, wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, I mean, even if it was 10, even if it was 5, you know, you don't really see that, right? So I'd love to see like almost a video put together just of that one strip. But you know, be safe. I don't know what it's like there right now. Is there still people there, or is it now cleared out, but there's still kind of the wreckage?
Right. Well, there's the wreckage there, and you know, just to touch on the GF piece, with how the city's reacting, and there's, I would say the the display of unrest in terms of group masses and stuff has settled down quite a bit. But you know, it's just that it's kind of business as usual. I mean, everybody's going to work if they're allowed to go to work. And traffic gets back to, you know, it's just kind of like a normal day. I mean, the only difference is that they burned down basically auto parts stores, Napas and stuff like that. And I do remember another thing that was posted, to back up a little bit, interestingly enough, during those riots, there was a video, I think you may have posted it, of a guy who showed a pallet of bricks next to, I think, a courthouse building, and mentioned that he was doing construction there a few months prior, and never did they have that in front of a building, and it had never had construction done on it. So there's parts of it that were planted, I believe, and but it's almost like, you know, the residents haven't forgotten about what's happened, but there's just not a whole lot of talk about. It's almost like it happened and it shut down, you know, and now we're just business as usual, driving past the burned down stores.
Yeah, that's how it feels in Capitol Hill right now. When you drive through, it's like there's all this stuff left over, but now it's clear. So just a week and a half ago or whatever, you know, that was literally a commune, and now it's just a really crappy looking street. I get what you're saying. Well, Tuck Pup.
Exactly.
By the way, I got the picture pulled up. This is in Colorado. And I'm getting a lot of comments, too, about the Neowise. End Times says I don't know if you're saying you see it right now in Olympia, Washington. I really wanted to, if I could at all. I wondered, I even looked it up. Apparently, you might even be able to get a drone up if you do a long exposure, because I'm not in the right place. I was thinking if I get a drone up high enough, because it was below the horizon, that maybe I could get it. I really wanted to see this. This is something that is once in a lifetime, and we didn't even know about it. Why did nobody talk about this a month ago? If we discovered it 3 months ago, why did nobody say, hey, this huge comet's going to be visible from here to here? Did they? Was there a tiny little snippet, or was it way bigger than they thought it was going to be? This is an amazing picture your friend took, by the way.
Yeah, he's a professional photographer out of Colorado. I'll send him a message on the old book face there, Spacefoot, and see if I can't get him to. I think he's got a drone and some stuff like that, you know. And on the Neowise subject and on the Atlas subject too, it's crazy to talk to people around. I mean, just from community or state to state or so on, that are completely mindless towards everything else that's going on besides what's in the mainstream. Because I've mentioned this to a couple of friends, and they're like, well, what about Atlas? We don't know about Atlas. I'm like, man. And I don't even dig into them, you know, but beautiful picture. He had just gotten back into Colorado and took that.
Well, Tuck Pup, I appreciate you, and make sure to say what's up to your friend, and say just absolutely amazing photo. He took.
Yeah, I got 2 more quick things, if you don't mind.
Well, please make them quick, because we're at like 8 minutes, Tuck Pup.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I thought about, with the whole GF thing is a few months back when we were covering National Guard movement, or you guys were covering National Guard movement around the country. And I'm not saying that his passing was planned, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was something or some state of relevance in terms of moving those National Guard equipments and outfits to certain areas for these sorts of riots. And I'll just leave that there. And the other thing I wanted to read you was just a post that, this is for the fam and everybody else, that I wrote out the other day on my personal social media platform. It says, "Man, you guys all make me sad. Why can't we just live and let live? CB sucks. Racism sucks. Our government, both sides, is corrupt, and all we're doing is separating farther from each other more now than ever. Why can't we just accept all these things and make an effort to not play the game? People are going to die. We have different color skin, and somebody's going to run our country. That doesn't change my outlook on life. I give every human the honorable respect to be themselves. When we set these things aside, these things which are dominating society's general consensus on right and wrong, we're able to see people for who they really are. Outside of politics, sickness, race, and so on, the relationships we build upon honesty, not opinion, vulnerability rather than offense, love over lust, and life experience as opposed to political and social correctness in the current event context. Those are the relationships that matter, and this is what we should strive for. As a part of a generation who's witnessed some real things over the last 20 plus years, it's becoming apparent if we keep it up, we could also become the most separated, and we can add that to the list." And it says, "I'm not condoning any of the bad stuff that's gone down, and I'm not trying to spark an argument here. So for the love of fingers, thumbs, and keyboards, don't take it there. All I'm saying is stop the bitching, be yourself. I'm just grateful to be alive today. Peace and love, Tuck Pup."
Well, that's awesome, Tuck Pup. And, more people need to actually spend a few minutes and actually, think about a statement just like that. I know why you say half of that, too. It's like you can't say anything without offending or causing people to go full ruckus. Well, thank you, Tuck Pup. I appreciate your call.
Bring the ruckus.
I appreciate your call, man. And please feel welcome anytime. Call again and get me some video of that. Maybe give us a call in a couple days.
Yeah, man.
And we'll show that video.
All right, brother. Much love to you guys. Y'all take care.
All right. Thank you, Tuck Pup. Have a good night.
Peace and love.
Let's see here. Okay, so next up we have Joseph. But first, I wanted to say thank you, Archives the Truth. Really, really awesome of you. You didn't have I guess you bounced over too. I can't buy lemons over on DLive. Meh. LOL. Some people have had some weird issues over there. But again, we do some only DLive only shows, and I just feel like it's a lot better. People are doing Trovo now. By the way, a lot of people are saying, "Hey, do Trovo." I have gone to Trovo like 4 times. It's a Chinese-owned company that is also Tencent. Tencent is this huge video game platform. They all of the PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile. They make all these mobile games, the best games in the world, mobile. I go to that thing. I've been to Trovo under a phone, under a computer. It's always choppy. So I don't know if they even have their stuff together yet. Again, it was just buffering and chopping out. DLive has its problems, but it's a year old, and it's been getting better and better and better. That's my honest opinion. I really think the community is awesome over at DLive. A lot of the people are just absolutely amazing. So again, that's okay though. Our Archives the Truth. I always say the truth. Archives the Truth. Much love, much love, all. Thank you, and that is incredibly. You don't have to do that. Thank you, Gone Girl, aka Archives. And then love you, Marf, Dex, Mods, and Foogle fam. Christian Moore says, "Hey friend, on behalf of the fam, get your wife some flowers. Congrats on the new member to the fam. Been a minute. Love to you all. Eyes up, eyes down, eyes all around." Thank you. And then Lady T says, "Prepared, LOL." Prepared. Oh yeah, because he said prepared. I swear that almost cracked me up to where I choked. I'm prepared. I love being prepared. I'm prepared for the worst. Black Hat says, put it this way. If you don't wear a mask, fine. You and everyone responsible for reproducing you will soon pay for your ignorant mistakes. That was Black Hat. Leader of the Chaz, thank you for the $1 super chat. I feel like I've talked to you. I know you're not the leader of the Chaz, but I swear are you on Twitter as well as leader of the Chaz? Yeah, I think you have a bigger Twitter there. Mustard Seed, I appreciate you following. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. Survival Living, thank you for being here, and thank you for stopping by my show. I appreciate that, and appreciate all the creators out there that end up stopping in. So thank you. Hot-Wired Barb, Jilly J, missed you, Marf and Foogles. Congrats on baby Foogle. Adrenaline, thank you for being here. Debbie Yo, thank you for gifting Adrenaline a 1-month Marfia badge. And then we've got Tuck Pup, thank you. Put pic in comments on your live stream Twitter post. Thank you, I found that. Obviously, that's a little bit old. Lioness12, thank you for gifting out subscriptions or Marfia badges to the channel. Again, we ended up, I think a lot of people's subscriptions went away over the break. CMS, thank you for following. Kiki Gray, welcome to the fam. You are now a part of it. Piano Girl, thank you for the ice cream. I appreciate that. Auntie M, Fixin' to Love Q. Greatest is Love. We've got Cutthroat Mom, Enchanted by You, Big Bear, Texas Rob 49. You guys all, thank you for the lemons. Laura Griffith and 7 Ruby Rose. Michelle K. and Kihaja Fly Girl says, order groceries online. Don't endanger staff. A lot of people can do that. By the way, End Time says, I see the comment in Olympia, Washington. Did you see it, or do you see it now? I'm kind of tripping that I missed it. I really was mad because it was underneath the horizon and I couldn't find my drone battery charger. And that's the only way I think I'll be able to get to it. Marf, I did research, and since mandate of masks, numbers only increased and faster. Wouldn't the numbers go down? Asks YouTube admin. I'll leave that for you guys. Gone Girl 777, hi all, thank you. I made it from YouTube to D-Live woot woot. I'm sorry, I added the second woot. I never have seen somebody do a woot without a woot woot. So, sorry. I shouldn't have, that's like putting words in your comment. Woot woot. I'm sorry, you don't do one woot without the other. Woot woot. That's how it goes. Woot woot. Sorry. A little bit OCD on the woot woot. Putsie woo. Not to be confused with Putsie woot woot. Congrats on the new Foogle. Auntie M, Adrenaline. Thank you guys. Sunshine. I appreciate you. I love beagles. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the names that are here. You guys support no matter what, and it really is. It gets stressful when you go 2 weeks without anything. So thank you guys for all coming out to support. Laura Griffith, thank you for the 1 month subscription. And then Varb777 and Scrapulicious. New names in here. Awesome. Foogling. Ayalin says, congratulations on your new Foogling. J-Stone and all the mods, Marv, congrats. Get a bigger boat. That's awesome. Yeah, that was what I was going for. We're going to need a bigger boat. Divine Intervention Music Corporation has followed. What is going on, Divine Intervention Music Corporation? I love the name, too. Archives of Turth, congratulations, little Foogle. Adam, sure missed you. Limitless Queen, thank you for following. And as always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. And Christian Moore, thank you so much. All right, Joseph Newhouse, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Hey, Adam. Congrats on your family, and the office looks great.
Well, thank you. So you usually go down some sort of deep rabbit hole when you call. What's going on today?
Well, I've got a couple videos for you. First, about the Earth's magnetic field that you posted on Twitter, I guess a week or so ago. And I made a video where it starts with Monty Python and the Holy Grail and Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. And I'm relating it all to the Earth's magnetic field, which is like a torus. And so if you could just pull up Google real quick, and the Google images for TORUS, torus field. And if you go to the 24th image, it's like a blue, yellow, and red. It's a GIF, so if you open it, it moves.
Okay, so hold on. Let me
so this article...
spell that one more time. Torus field? TORUS. Okay, and then just press enter. TORUS.
Yeah, torus field. Torus field.
FIELD.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay, and then press enter.
It's the 24th image. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so toroidal magnetic field, does it... I'm trying to... You're going to see it on my screen.
Okay,
it's
so
a little bit delayed.
When I searched it, it was the 24th image, but it's the one that's like, it has a red, a white, a red, a yellow, and a blue line. And it's like a kind of bluish looking field. Anyway, if you click on it, it gives the GIF, which is like a moving image. And so the article talks about Earth's magnetic field, and it says that the magnetic field features that drift to the east or west, talking about the South Atlantic anomaly that we talked about a while ago. And so this is just like a natural, like if you look at that image that I was talking about, it's like a natural kind of flow to the just the Earth's magnetic field. And so I think the Foogle fan might like that and find it interesting. And then especially with the symbolism of the Monty Python. And then the second video is about secret Holy Grail symbols in the vortex with this cartoon shake person. And it's got a funny clip at the end, but it's basically, the infinity symbol. It's like a figure 8.
Yeah.
And so it relates to the torus field that you're looking at the images there. I see it on the screen. It's kind of looks like a rainbow with but it's with the red, yellow, and blue. But so the infinity symbol, like an 8, and like I was talking about, that map with the they call the northern area, and so it has the red and white line that's kind of like candy cane, and I've talked about that symbolism. And so
by the way, I got to explain to somebody who's a new viewer. So what Joseph Newhouse does is he'll take some subject that we'll talk about on the show, or in this case, I talked about it on Twitter. So in my opinion, something's going on big, and I don't know if it's the magnetic field, but they've been talking a lot about it, and it could just shift. If we might have a pole shift, maybe they know it's coming. I don't know. I'm never going to say anything for sure. But what he will do is he does these kind of assisting videos to whatever comments we're talking about. And because the Foogle fam really is, some people have fans or whatever. This is a family, and there's a lot of creators. He'll create a video and go deep into a subject. So this one, of course, the secret Holy Grail symbols, the vortex, these kind of things. He'll go really deep into it and go down some cool roads. With the other one, with Joseph, you've actually been done really well at picking out symbolism. If you have never had somebody school you on some of the weird symbolism, Joseph Newhouse is really good at spotting it. So you guys should definitely check out these videos. Sometimes he'll use copyrighted stuff, so I don't usually try to play too much of his stuff. But again, you do have a good eye for the symbols that normally people don't even notice. You know what I mean? There's so much of it everywhere.
Right.
So
so that second video has some crazy symbolism at the end there, and I kind of thought about what I wanted to say one last thing before I go, and that's with your family, kind of actually inspired that first video with Monty Python and stuff, and then my most recent video also about Sleeping Beauty and the Valkyries, because of your new office there with the Marfoogle symbol. And so it's kind of similar to a rune and relates to stuff like that. So yeah, but it's great talking to you. Have a good night, Adam.
Well, Joseph, we're going to send all the Foogles we can over, and thank you for always doing, side videos and going down these deep, dark holes. A lot of people like it when you call in. So thank you so much, Joseph. You have a great night. Be safe. Be prepared. And Marf out. Okay. Dex, are you there, by the way?
Hey, Adam, I'm here.
Okay, so I don't know if do we have one more or no?
No, they must have dropped. I tried to get them, but they're not there now.
Okay, so either way, we were gonna try to cut the calls not too extended tonight. This is our first stream back. Really, we're not there yet. We need to get down to that 2-hour mark. What YT has been doing is if it goes over 2 hours, it won't process for 10 hours. So then anybody who wants to watch it right after we're done, if we're at 1 hour, 59 minutes, it will process instantly. They can watch the whole show 1 minute after we're done. But for some reason, it doesn't even show up on our page until 10 hours later. It's pretty stupid. This was a problem way back in the beginning, and then we just started not caring because it never took this long. Now it's doing it again. Don't know why. Whatever. We're past 2 hours anyways. So tonight, we're going to do a shoutro. It's been 2 weeks. Dex, I love you, brother. You are the man.
Great job.
And
love you too, man. Good show.
Man, it's been so great to see all of you guys. I really appreciate all of you guys coming back out. And yes, we're going to have a show tomorrow. And the day after that. And the day after that. We're back. We are fully and utterly back. We're back. We're back. We're back. That's where the music was supposed to kick in. We're back. I forgot I have to do the music. I don't have a assistant, so we're back. Really? We're back. It is a live show. We're back. There it is. The volume knob. That's a good one to have on. I wonder why they lie, they think we don't know. I wonder why they think they've got control. I wonder why they lie, they think we don't know. I wonder why nation, false religion will fall. Next by the UN, most don't know that I will sing you through. I love the way they go now. Gale, firestorm, they shut down seismos today. Hey, Gale Firestorm, I appreciate you. Christian Moore archives the turf. Divine Intervention Music Corporation. And, of course, Who Flung Dung archives. You are awesome. Limitless Queen, thank you for joining the fam. Christian Moore, Mustard Seed, leader of the Chaz. Judith Donnelly, going over to the chat, hitting you up. Kihaja Fly Girl, thank you for driving Ninja Guineas into my face. 1 Adam 12, thank you for being here. Queen FTP, Scat Smack, I appreciate you. Just remember, it's Queen BTP that matters most. Think they've got control. Now we know that it's all about the black hat. It's all about the leader of the Chaz and the Judith Donnelly at that. Susan Mesker, thank you for being here tonight. Queen BTP, thank you for joining me. Fixing the love queue, thank you. Rob Goldman, thanks for being here for me. Hot White Barb, I appreciate you. And mentioning D-Body Lock, thank you. Texas Rob 49, thank you for being here tonight. Harry the Rabbit, I appreciate you, I do. I wonder why they think they've got control. I wonder why they lie and they think we don't know. I wonder why they think they've got control. At least I know Jay So Savvy, hey, Kelly SG1 and Che. Oh, wow. I know that we're gonna get it down with the TGs and Z-Mark out from New Zealand. Gotta bring it back now, the healing can start and we get right back now. Damian Bustamante, gonna bring it on down. Oh, I wonder why they think they've got control. I wonder why they lie and they think we don't know. Laura Griffith, Campbell, Felicia 84, GMB 8353 or whatever you say. No, you did not miss that lovely chest, cause he's going off right now. The more you know, and the Jeep lights and the hoof-long dungs. I wonder why they think they've got control. Yay for the new Marfoogle baby, says Sandra Lee. Thank you for being here tonight. And thank you for supporting JoJo A. I wonder why that Foogle fan and I wonder why all of him hanging out. I wonder why Kampala 12 you call early. I wonder why once the lines are full then they're full. I wonder why when the show starts is when to call. I wonder why, cause your money's on the early bird. I wonder why, and your money's on the early word. I wonder why, man, we racing no realtor. I wonder why, cause they know we ain't messing with her. I wonder why, Chance Paladin and no man's. I wonder why they lie and they think we don't know. I wonder why they think they've got control. I wonder why they lie and they think we don't know.
I use Marfoogle News. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where a pop. Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. I'm looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. I'm looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams.
Cutthroat Mom, Chamonix, Checkawa, Scrapulicious, Priscilla, and I Love Beagles. Thank you for being here. Felicia84, we've got Gone Girl, gonged out, and gonged everywhere. Doesn't matter what we do, because we are.
Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News.
Every time that we go, Lord Andrew brings us to and fro, and Cutthroat Mom brings the time, and Lori D knows no mom, and Bob 777 got to bring us back to Fav, and gonna bring it back, and now to April I was born. I'm gonna bring
My window,
gonna bring
crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams.
Who do you watch?
Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News, Marfoogle News, where are you?
Where do you go?
Only news I use. Marfoogle News.
Where's your news? It's right here. It's Marfoogle News.
Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News.
Enigma. Invented by you, Sandra. The only news I use is going down the hill and gonna bring it Jojo way and gonna sing it Grandma Bear and everybody gonna expect it. Your body got to get it on the fair and bring it 7 ruby rolls in there.
Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News.
Season Life Q, Scrapulicious, Cornbound, Texas, Rob Delicious, Dilly J, and Checkawa, gonna bring it down, drink it through a straw, broken teeth, and that 70, I was gonna go back, now I see it, it's all the same, and now it's all going down, now it's burning, I'm gonna bring it on, I just wish I was proud, Storm Raven, I'm behaving like Storm Raven.
Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. I'm looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams.
Shout out to the mods. Remember, mods are what make this an awesome. I was saying words there, and then my brain said, just stop. That's right. I was talking, and it was just like, hey, what? Just shut up. Just shut up, Adam. Why is he still laughing? It's not funny anymore. It was never funny. Responsibly. 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 At the end of the day, when you're not in your car, around people, not when you.
About to go back with my JoJo. Hey, gonna go back like I got say. Cali at G1, gonna bring down. Chastina, bring my Mr. Connor. Gonna bring it back like I'm in a sauna. I love Beagles and I love Bug Brown. Bring it right round, gonna go down. Oh, and I'm gonna see the chop money down. Oh. Be a bad mascot, take the mask off. Be a bad mascot, take the mask off. We'll be on the pandemic. We'll be on the pandemic. We'll be on the pandemic. Gotta go back now, say oh girl, oh girl, gotta bring like a hero. Gotta get it done, then we're gonna end it. Gonna bring it right back just where I sent it. Gotta get down, Mr. Katana. Gonna back down like I'm not fun of that white tail 7 and oh lord. Gonna bring it back down now, my backstory. Out on the stand, family and a Chickasaw. Lady green eyes and everybody looking at ya. I'm about to bring it back now, I raise it realtor. I tell you, I'm gonna out and bring it right out with the Phil, Billy X and everybody hanging out. Rockin' America, barefoot last, gonna take my racing realtor 2 class, gonna get my rate realtor class and gonna bring it right to Kelly S. Dad. Oh, how to bring it back. Oh, how to, oh, how Chickasaw.
Chickasaw, gonna bring it down, gonna do it now, like it's never now. Gonna I love, gonna be on now, gonna be a sniper on the Raj, gonna bring it down like I never did on leash, bring it on the same leash. I'm about to go back off, filling on my leash. Lady clean eyes, yeah, it's Paladin, doing it like I never gotta go in. Old wise owl in the Chickasaw towel, gonna bring it back like I'm like now in the storm raven, gonna bring it back haven. Miss me heaven like a fixin' to love you. I'm about to do to you what I said my way. I'll bring it down like I am Maui. Racing realtor, going back door, doing every back like I'm a hero tour, and I bring it round like I take it myself. Gonna bring it down, and you know it I'm raw. Check a wall, raw. Saw. Another word. And writing. Been a while. Lost my style.
I'm about to go filter it out. Gonna bring it right like I did it right now. Like the old school, like the hell I do it with the terror ballad and the jaw farm and the bring it and the solid and you bring it down and I know it, now we go. Mascot, take the mask off. Be a bad mascot, take the mask off. Be a bad mascot, take the mask off.
Uh-oh. What in the heck is going on here?
And we so down. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up. And we so down. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up. And we so down.
Thank you, Lady Green Eyes. This is my screen name, Scrappylicious. Kelly SG1, thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you.
Kelly SG1. I'ma dab it lock. Wanna bring it on lock. Gonna do the background pop. Melt your face off like it made dog and dolls. Draws for the last of the kamikaze holocaust with the cocktails Molotov. Gonna throw 'em on down and melt it all face off till I nod off with my song off with my dawn. Now I'm out looking at my lawn, saying what's going on with the mofos. And they're going back round, about to go toe to toe with the rockin' America. So read a 517B, doing every MTMBC. 6'9", Scrappylicious, gonna bring it back. Echo in the desert, oh so delicious. And the geeking me out with the caramel B and the CJ, please, and with the Ellie. Gonna do it just to act like the Unleash. Gonna do it with the wisdom 2-3. Gonna do it now with the Priscilla now. When the everybody really wanna see the John Bow Bow.
Moses here to tell you what is up, and we so down. Marfoogle News.
Is that it? Is that really it? No, that it was something else. It was a little bit of list. Where is it?
Got the funky, I got the Marfoogle fam. I got the monkey, I got the funky, I got the Marfoogle fam. I got the monkey, I got the funky, I got the Marfoogle fam.
I got the wisdom and the Sebastian and the Ghani and I love it and I'm so scared. Bring it right back into Katie's Empire with the Canadian freak and that hair. Wish it wasn't going right back to the display right behind me, but I can't keep it. It's gonna go with the fourth child. Gonna bring it back around, won't have hair for a while. Hey, Chimani with the snap and I'm about to bring it back like that and the Iron Rangers. With the Smoky Mountain Gal and the Gale Firestorm, I just want to say, this is the norm. Peaceful waters in the 77, thanks. Oh, thank heaven with the Mama Sherry. Gonna bring it that. I'm about to go back round doing it that. And, yes, I love ya. Not the best after a while.
I got the monkey,
I got the monkey,
I got the Marfoogle fam. I got the monkey, I got the funky, I got the Marfoogle fam. I got the monkey, I got the funky, I got the Marfoogle fam. I got the monkey, I got the funky, I got the Marfoogle fam. I got the monkey, I got the funky, I got the Marfoogle fam. I got the monkey, I got the funky, I got the
Dad Dance. Oh yeah, that's Dad Dance for you. With the dad bod and the dad hairline, I've got yourself a dad song. And dad gammit, I'm gonna like it for the rest of my days.
already know where we're going. Already be
With the KS in the ER, barefoot lass, Marfoogle fan in the #1 blast with the Mr. Wilson with the 2012. Priscilla doesn't know he's going to hell. Just bring it with the shield and sword and the hot-wired barb and everybody in there now. Chrissy 27 and everybody's got it going now. We speed it up like nobody's knowing and bring it down. Maybe we be slowing it down. Maybe we speeding it back over again. Bobby 49, Gone Girl 77, and the girl check why. Ask a penguin and a ninja, bring it right together. You know that we got it down. Marfoogle fam already be knowing. When we die, we already know where we're going. Marfoogle fam already be knowing. When we die, we know where we're going. Marfoogle fam already be knowing. When we die, we know where we're going. Marfoogle fam already be knowing. When we die, we know where we're going. Marfoogle fam already be knowing. When we die, we already know where we're going. Dex. I'm gonna say Dex more times than Dex. We're gonna have Dex on the decks, and we're going down and saying Dex. Dex, my man, my left hand man, he's never going anywhere, man. Hey, he's a great replacement for nobody that took his place, yeah. Oh, bring the chaos. When we die, we know where we're going. Marfoogle fam already be knowing. When we die, we already know where we're going. Sled 36 and the bringing on the kicks, and the girl going back Highway 66 and the box house. Gotta get it now. I love Beagles, everybody gotta get it down. Sandra Lee with the Phil Billy X, never doing it. And they say I haven't said Dex, but I said Dex like 7 times and better check. Gotta rewind, do it just like that. Maybe ever worth it. Marfoogle fam already be knowing. When we die, we know where we're going. Marfoogle fam already be knowing. When we die, we already know where we're going. Marfoogle fam already be knowing. When we die, we know where we're going. Marfoogle fam already be knowing. When we die, we already know where we're going. You guys have a great night. Make sure to say hello to your family. Remember, bring in at least 3 people by tomorrow, or otherwise... I just left you hanging there. Now you're like, what is going to happen if I don't bring 3 people? Well, probably nothing. But it would be pretty cool if you had 3 people, then you have 4, then you have like 3 people to talk to, and it's pretty cool. So, if you're new, bring 3 other new people, and then you got like a little click, and then we unclick you, and then you have to hang out with everybody. So, I don't know where I'm going with this. You have a great night. If we host somebody, you better, you like them. You do everything you can, right?
If you're on mobile, just swipe up and then...
I like the cheddar with the cheese, and then I bring it down and I bring it with the echo and the...
I wonder why they lie, they think we don't know. I wonder why they think they've got control. I wonder why they lie, they think we don't know. We go
Hey, thanks all of you guys for coming tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for she's. If you want to support us for any reason, you can go to our website. Unlike others, we actually believe in the products we affiliate with. Thank you. Have a good night. Be safe. Protect yourself.